What's up, fam? Welcome to the We Are Just Dating page. You are tuning in to the W Podcast. We're excited. It's going to be really, really good. We got more time to answer your questions.
Yeah.
Remember, if you have a question about anything in regards to relationships, you can put it in our bio. Just go to the About page on our YouTube channel. There's a Google form there. It's totally anonymous. Ask us anything you want to know about relationships. Or if you're on Instagram and you want to do that, you can go to our page and go on the link tree and then ask your question there. Cool?
Cool.
Let's do it. All right. Also, we're on YouTube now, so hit that subscribe button. You understand what I'm saying? Hit the subscribe button for us. We would appreciate that. If you can like the video, all of that helps us reach more people.
Comment. Let us know your thoughts.
Yes, let's comment. We would love to chat with some of y'all in the comments. If you agree, if you disagree, if you think we should have added something, let us know. But first, before we get into question of the day, part of the W Podcast is we're going to do a Would You Rather question just to kick things off, be a little fun, and help you guys get to know our personalities and just how our brain thinks. All right? That sound cool?
Did we tell them who we are?
No, we didn't. Wow, 1 minute in. My name is Tim. This is my beautiful wife, Pauline. We are the Wheelers, and we are so excited because we're so excited we forgot to say our name.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Would you rather question? Let's go. Also, in the comments, tell us what would your answer be. We would love to hear that. All right, cool. So, would you rather have all traffic lights you approach be green, or never have to stand in line again?
Never have to stand in line again.
You're just going straight like that.
That was easy.
It was easy. Never have to stand in line again.
Well,
Why?
because also when I hear stand in line, I also am going to expand that to sit in line at Chick-fil-A. So if I could skip the line at Chick-fil-A, especially now, you know, I don't know when you guys are watching this, but what month is it? It's February 2021, so we're still in pandemic. Can't go inside Chick-fil-A. But even honestly before the pandemic, the Chick-fil-A drive-thru line was something crazy. So even though they do a really good job of getting you through fast, but like...
Shout out to them.
Yeah, so that's what I would do. Never have to wait in line again.
Wow. See, I'm the opposite. I want green lights. Now, I need y'all to talk to me in these comments because when are you waiting in line anymore? Everybody get no. Everybody DoorDash, Uber Eats. You don't really wait in line.
Wait too. It's 45 minutes for DoorDash.
That's not waiting in line though. I'd rather have green lights. Where are my people that be late, low key?
Well, that's another.
Where
issue.
you at? I'm never gonna be late again. You give me all green lights, I'm gonna get there. GPS say get there in 50 minutes. Guess what? Your boy gonna be there.
What about when you're on the highway? There aren't even any traffic lights on the highway.
Right. The highway's not the problem. The problem is when I have to get to the highway with them red lights that be slowing me up. Y'all notice this, and look, I have something to get off my chest.
Oh, wow.
Because it's frustrating. Y'all ever notice that you ever notice when you're driving and you're late, you get all red lights?
That's because
you get all red lights. No. You get all red lights. And then when you are early and you low key, like, there's be times where I'm early to stuff and I don't want to be early, but you get all green lights. That's annoying.
Cookouts and things.
That's annoying.
I mean, that's why you need to be on time, be early.
Anyway, that was our Would You Rather. Let us know what you would do in the comments. We would love to hear y'all opinion.
Yes.
So, question of the day. That's why y'all here, right? Question of the day.
Yeah, so we're going to do question of the day, which is, as we mentioned earlier, where you guys submit your anonymous questions. So the question of the day for today is talking, in air quotes, the person quoted it, is talking a thing? Or is it see potential, pray about it, get confirmation, then court? That's what the question this person
That's what they asked.
submitted. I'm kind of interpreting this as like, what's the process of going from just being friends or being some random person to being your boyfriend or girlfriend?
True. So I'll let you touch that. I'm really going to touch the first part where she said is talking a thing, because I feel like a lot of people have different opinions about talking. Just in general.
Well, what is it?
Right, that's the thing. So some people...
If you guys ask your parents that, they probably wouldn't know
what is that?
About.
But...
Going steady? No, that's dating, right?
See, that's the thing.
Talking...
That's why talking... And that's why this question is so good, because talking is something where there's a lot of confusion and there's no clarity, but there's also expectations. Here's what I mean by that. Someone who does believe in talking, because some people don't believe in talking. Somebody that believes in talking, they expect the person that they're talking to at least text them or call them or whatever once a day. And if you don't even want to do that once a day, you at least expect them to reach out to you once a week. Can we say that?
I don't get it.
You don't get what?
I don't get it. How are these expectations? Because there are people I know who are in an exclusive relationship, like boyfriend and girlfriend, and they don't even talk every day.
Don't get caught up on that. I just said you could.
So what is the level of commitment with talking?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. For you getting ahead of me.
I'm just trying to, y'all. Do you guys understand?
Yes, they do understand because they love me. Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. In talking, you have expectations of the person that you're talking to.
Okay, that's what you say. We're talking,
right?
Because they're different than.
But there's also no clarity. It's not like you're my boyfriend or you're my girlfriend.
It's a step before that.
That's what I'm saying. There's confusion because you have expectations, but there's no real clarity on like, yo, like, are you talking to somebody else? Because there's some people who believe you could talk to multiple people.
Well, that goes back to, the question of, can you date multiple people at the same time? Like, you literally go on a date. Like, I went out on Tuesday, I went out with Jimmy. On Wednesday, I went out with Tommy.
Right. I don't like that. I would not do that. Personally, I would not be going on multiple dates with different people. Now, I know some of y'all like, I'm single, I'm going to do what I want. That's a different video. I don't even want to go there. I'm just saying that, like, that's just not my flow. Mm-hmm. But all that to say, that can make talking weird.
More complicated.
And we'll talk about this later in the video, but that's why you want to be clear and be on the same page with the person. Like, okay, we're talking, if that's what y'all want to call it. What does that mean?
And you and the person need to
agree on that. Yeah, because talking means different. Like, somebody really thinks that, I know someone who thinks that talking is, I'm talking to different people at different times.
Like texting.
Texting, going on dates.
Yeah.
All that.
So that's good. So the question is talking a thing? So the answer is it is a thing. People do it. That it makes it a thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, is it a healthy thing? Or what is the way? Is it the best thing? Maybe that's a more specific way to answer that question.
Yeah. What do you think? I'll go in later.
Well, I think we should definitely share a little bit of our story and how talking played into it.
What you gotta say?
So, I'm more of a I want to say like a rigid person. I highly value clarity in my life, in my relationships. I'm big on expectations. I want to know what people expect of me. I want to communicate what I expect of them. So there's no disappointments or anything like that. And before Tim, of course, I had dated other people, talked to other people, and had disappointments. And just lack of clarity of, what was going on. And I really didn't want that. So, our story, we were quote unquote talking. That was a part of, I would say that was a part of our story. Would you?
We talked for 2 months. About 2 months.
See, it's interesting that you say that because I was going to say 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yes.
See? Oh, Lord.
See? So,
woo!
But I understand why you said that. So, talking is the period of time between you're some guy that I have a crush on, from afar, or some guy that I think is cute, and you're my boyfriend. That's if talking is the in-between, can we agree with that?
Not necessarily. So here's why I said 2 months. To me, talking is when we both acknowledge there's interest, but we have not acknowledged that we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right.
So that period where you're going on dates, you're talking on the phone, you're doing all that stuff before it's officially boyfriend and girlfriend. Not just I saw you and thought you was cute and had a crush. No, you're not talking.
Okay. So that makes sense. This is why it's good we're fleshing this out. Because to me, I agree with that and I can get with that. But because to me, talking is necessary. and I think, like we said, our old school, like, parents, they used to just call that dating. I go on dates with this person, because they didn't text, they didn't have cell phones, things like that. So it's like, oh, I'm going on dates with this person, we're hanging out, we're getting to know each other. Those are things that someone would say, but you wouldn't.
Because that's what talking is. You just get
right. You're getting to know this person, but you don't necessarily have a label on your relationship. You haven't claimed them, they haven't claimed you, but people have seen you guys probably together, and people know that there's some interest, and that's a good thing. But I think that in our generation, or what we see now, is like a lot of people talk for too long, and it gets complicated. So I think not really a matter of like, is talking a thing, or yes, you need to have boundaries, or like, what does talking look like? Because, it's not a very high level of commitment, if we're being honest,
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you're not meeting each other's parents, maybe you're not, going on dates every single week or something where you're like, I'm committed to this. But you also need to make sure there's like a level of exclusivity in talking, if that's important to you, which I would encourage that, because I also don't think you can get to know, multitasking is not good, especially not in dating. So you're trying to get to know multiple people at the same time. You're going to miss something, and you're going to hurt people's feelings, and it usually comes from an unhealthy place. So I think the talking is absolutely a thing, but and it's I think calling it, oh, we're talking, makes it more complicated. I wish there was like a better culturally acceptable like term for it, but I would just be mindful of how long you're talking, because you also don't want to jump into a relationship too quickly, without doing your homework, and without making sure that you're making confident decisions. Depending on the maturity of you, or the maturity of the person you're talking to or with, it can be very, very blurry, a very, very blurry time. But also, because there's a lack of commitment, so it's like, are you only talking to me? Are you talking to other girls as well? Like, do I have the right to tell you not to talk to other girls? Because, you're not my boyfriend, so I can't really tell you what to do, or I don't really feel as confident or secure in this relationship. So I think that's one kind of bad side to it. Also, that can play along for guys as well. But I think that also there can be like a lack of urgency within the talking phase as well. So sometimes people get really comfortable because there are, in a way, and also this depends on what your boundaries are, and kind of like where you are in your life, and how much you're allowing the Lord to lead you. But there can be just, without urgency, there can be a lot of like, oh, I'm getting the benefits of like having somebody like good morning text.
That's a real thing.
Text.
Just wanting somebody to be in your phone.
Yeah, and like basically like, and usually when people are in that space, it's because you're lonely. You're not really in a relationship, or you're not talking to this person because you really want to get to know them. You're really trying to see if they're a good fit to be your spouse one day. You really just like having somebody in your phone. You really just like getting attention.
Yeah, don't do that. That's not nice.
So usually when people are talking for too long without purpose, because I think the talking phase, and everyone's story is different. If you date long distance, and just just obviously there's a bunch of variables that play a part in it, that we can't say like, oh, talking for this amount of time is good or bad, but there needs to be urgency. There needs to be, hey, like, yes, we're talking and we're going on dates and we're hanging out, but like, I'm waiting to hear from my mentor to to see what they think about you before I make this official, or I'm waiting for confirmation from God or something like that, or I would like to see how this person handles conflict before I commit to them, or something like that. Like, you need to have a purpose to it. You can't just be like, oh, well, what we got going on is cool, I'm not trying to mess it up, because that's, you're defeating the purpose of that stage, and you're abusing it, and you're probably also abusing the person that's involved, as long as yourself. So that's what I want to add.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I just wanted to give, y'all know I like doing my little 3 points if y'all been watching for a while. So how do you do the talking stage right? That's essentially what I want to close with.
That's what you think this person's asking.
That's what I took from their question, is because they said, is talking a thing? And you can add on, because I know you want to talk about the stages, but I just really want to talk about the talking stage, because I feel like a lot of people get this wrong.
Okay.
Or a lot of people get hurt in this stage because it is so unclear.
It can be a big deal.
Yeah, so I just want to share for anyone who is about to go on the talking stage, it's going to come up again, like, here's some things to keep in mind when you are about to enter that stage of how to make sure you're treating the other person well, but also making sure you're guarding and protecting yourself at the same time. So first thing I'll say is this: be clear. And we've kind of talked about that already, right? But just be clear in your intention, especially as a guy.
Yeah.
This is a chance for you to lead and be like, hey, like, I'm really interested in you. I want to get to know you. And I want to go out on a few dates just so we can have a chance to get to know each other before we make anything official. And the problem is you risk rejection or you risk getting your feelings hurt when you put yourself out there so straightforward. But on the back end, it allows there to be a lot more peace and stability because you both know where you're going. So that's one of the things I would say. You want to make sure you're on the same page. Like I said earlier in the video, one of y'all needs to know that, hey, when I talk to somebody, I'm going to talk to multiple people.
Yeah.
If that's you, you need to make sure they know that, because otherwise you're going to be a jerk if they don't know that and then they find out you're on a date with somebody else. That's just not a good look, especially as Christians. Like, the Bible tells us to treat others the way we would want to be treated.
Yeah.
Like, think about how would this play if I saw somebody I was talking to out on a date. That ain't.
And if you don't think there's anything wrong with it, you shouldn't hide it.
Bars. Yeah. Okay. So I would also say in the be clear thing, like anything, I feel like 2 months is a good amount of time to be able to tell. Okay, like. Is this
not because that's the time we have?
No, not even necessarily that. It's just like, okay, after 2 months of you going on dates, you talking to this person frequently, you should know if you're interested in getting to know them more or not. You should at least know you don't want to talk to them or get to know them more. And if that's the case, then you need to, like, if you don't know if you don't want to talk to somebody after 2 months.
You don't know who you are. What you're doing.
Yeah, you let it go. Let it go. So, second thing is this. Be kind. If you realize that you're no longer interested, let them know. Like, be upfront. And a lot of us, where are all my nice people at?
We need to have a video. I want someone to ask, how do you, like, go about breaking up with somebody?
You gonna tell somebody what to ask?
So if you need a hint.
But here's the thing. Be kind. Again, we said, treat others the way you want to be treated. How would you want somebody to tell you they're no longer interested in you? Like, how would you want that to go?
In a very gentle way.
But you would want them to be clear. Be like, hey, I enjoy getting to know you, but I don't think that we should move forward. I don't think that we should move forward as a couple. And just, you can leave it there if you want.
Yeah, but you also need to be prepared for them to ask why.
You can, but some would argue you don't necessarily owe them that.
You don't. So, but if they ask you and say why, you say, I just don't see us being more than friends.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the breakup video.
Here's the thing. You know you did talking right if you tell the person that you're no longer interested in them, or they tell you they're no longer interested, and you see them a month from now, and it's not awkward. And that's because there's no shame, because you honored each other throughout the whole process. Mm-hmm. See, the problem is when we like do people dirty or we ghost them and then we see them, then it's awkward.
No,
but if I feel like somebody treated me well and like, yo, you're cool people, I'm cool people, we just not people together.
You want to have a clear conscience.
Yeah.
Conscience.
At least I can respect you because I feel like you respected me and you gave me my dignity.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And number 3, I'll say this: be careful. This is all, how do you do the talking stage right? The third thing is be careful. The Bible tells us to guard our heart above all else.
For the well springs of life flow from it. Such a good verse.
Yeah. So you just gotta be careful out here. The thing about talking is there's extremely minimal commitment.
Yeah.
Like, it's really no commitment if we want to be honest. Intent. Intent.
Yeah.
There's intent, but no commitment in talking.
It's kind of like when someone comes up to you and they're like, oh, I wanted to get you a birthday gift, but I didn't. And then they say, oh, it's the thought that counts. So talking, it's the thought that counts.
So be careful, because at every stage of relationships, you want to make sure that you give the person access that matches their level of commitment.
So say it again.
At every stage of the relationship, you want to make sure you give that person access that matches their level of commitment to you. So here's the thing. Here's an example. If you're
having sex with somebody you're talking to.
Yeah, we can go there. Or say you're engaged, right? You should be having conversations about, hey, here are my fears, here are my dreams, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm scared of. because there's a commitment there that, hey, we're about to get married. I need to really know you before we walk down this aisle. But don't be telling them that on the second date.
Right, they haven't.
That's too much.
The relationship isn't strong enough yet to handle that.
There's no type of commitment there, and you don't know how they're going to handle that type of information.
That's actually a really good point, because we've heard, you know, different stories and situations where people are like, oh yeah, like on the first date I shared my past, or I shared, you know, something that was near and dear to my heart or whatever, and I think a lot of times we set people up for failure, because that person doesn't, if you share something so vulnerable, whether it be a fear or whether it be a dream that you have that's very precious to you, that person doesn't even know you well enough to know how to respond in a way that's going to be what you need. So allow them to get to know you, and you can, and I mean, obviously a lot of it's going to depend on how well you know yourself. But I think a lot of times people early in dating and in the talking stage will test one another and see like, oh, well, I didn't like this or I didn't like that. And it's like, that wasn't appropriate for the level of commitment or the level of relationship that you were at that current time.
Yeah, that's good. That's all I got for this topic. Did you got anything else you want to add?
No, I think, you know, hopefully we answered your question about, you know, is talking a thing. I definitely think it's a thing. I think it's more of like, how do you do the thing? How do you talk in a way that, you know, you protect your heart and protect the other person's heart? In every stage of dating, especially, but of course in just relationships in general, just like Tim said, you want to make sure you're honoring and respecting that person. So that means, you know, if you're talking to somebody and you're dragging them along and you know that you're not interested in them, that's not being respectful. So like when you know that this isn't something you want to move forward with, you have the obligation to tell them. And obviously like breaking up or cutting things off looks different depending on what level you're on or you know that your relationship is at. Yeah. But I think just keep that in mind. And also, if you're at the talking stage and you feel very confused, say something. Respect yourself in the same way that you hope that, you know, that person would respect you. Because a lot of times, and I'm mostly talking to the women, a lot of times girls are confused because like, oh, I don't know what we're doing. You know, he texts me every day and sends me heart emojis, but I don't know, you know, am I the only one? Or like, I don't really know what that means. He hasn't come outright to tell me that he likes me. You know, depending on where you are, you can definitely ask. And I had to do that with Tim. Like, what's going on? What are we doing? You're texting me every day. That's not normal. I don't talk to guys, you know, every day. So, like, what's going on? And give him a chance to, you know, explain himself. And guys, it's great if you can do that on your own. I know it's kind of hard to put yourself out there sometimes. But yeah, just make sure you're guarding your own heart and guarding the other person's heart as best as you can. When you are on the talking stage, and know that it's not supposed to last very long.
Yeah, just to make sure that we do answer this question specifically so the person's actually helped. They did say, is talking a thing, or is it see potential, pray about it, get confirmation, then court? Here's what I'll say. Talking is a thing. While you're talking, you need to see potential. You need to pray about it while you're talking.
All the time.
You need to get confirmation about this person from mentors and other friends and family while you're talking. And then once you get the confirmation, you prayed about it and have peace, you saw potential, then you can start courting.
So it's not one or the other. Courting is also another weird word that people
courting,
don't really know.
we say courting is dating. That's the same thing to us.
It is.
We are just
Christian
dating.
World. We are just courting.
No. That sounds so like old. No.
Old?
It sounds old. I'm going to court you now. It's just nah.
Court me.
Anyway, if you say court, we still love you. It's okay. All right. So that was question of the day.
Yes.
This has been the W Podcast. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button. Let us know in the comments what you think about this video. We'll see y'all next week.
All right.